What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball. Powered by Come On Now, the podcast. We talk facts and feelings. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Show. Like the video, subscribe, leave your comments, hype the video. And if you haven't done so yet, again, subscribe to the channel right now. Don't waste your time. Don't wait around. This video is purely speculative. Speculative. So before anyone jumps off their crazy horse, I am completely speculating. I'm giving an opinion. I'm telling you about what I think should happen, what I think should be done. It is nothing that is verified with facts. I have no idea. I'm telling you what I think should be done. We're here to talk about MiLaysia Fulwiley. MiLaysia Fulwiley just finished her junior college basketball season at LSU, losing to Duke in the Sweet 16. She had 28 points. She was exceptional in that game. She carried LSU in that game. And in the final two possessions, she was sitting on the bench because Kim Mulkey had an agenda to fill, and that was to try and make Flau'jae Johnson the hero for the team. She wanted Flau'jae to hit the game-winning shot. It did not happen. Her shot got blocked. Michaela Williams rebounded the ball and got fouled and made two free throws. And then she put Flau'jae Johnson on Duke's supposed top player, despite the fact that I would argue that Ashlyn Jackson is not the top player, but put her on their supposed top player, and her defense in that situation was atrocious. And Jackson drains a three to advance to the Elite Eight before losing to UCLA on Sunday. That said, MiLaysia Fulwiley's junior season at LSU has gone up in smoke, while the team that she formerly played for, South Carolina, is back in the Final Four, playing UConn on Friday night at 7 p.m. for a chance to play for a national championship. So she left a school that's back in the Final Four to go to a school that utilized her virtually the exact same way she was utilized at South Carolina, and in my world, completely misused and used improperly. And now we have a decision to make. Should MiLaysia Fulwiley stay at LSU, or should she pack her bags and go somewhere else? And I've never been a person who's big on transferring. But when people are messing with your career, you have to take it by the horns and you have to make decisions that will better your life. Because clearly what we saw this year from Kim Mulkey and how she handled MiLaysia Fulwiley at LSU did not better MiLaysia Fulwiley. Do you think that MiLaysia Fulwiley got better as a basketball player? I could tell you that just based on the statistical analysis, she is virtually the same player she was as a freshman and a sophomore at South Carolina as she was as a junior at LSU. Statistically speaking, she averaged 14.6 points per game, which led the team in scoring. She played only 22.7 minutes per game. She came off of the bench. She was not a starter. How? How was MiLaysia Fulwiley not a starter on this team? But this goes back to what I said a year ago when she decided to transfer to LSU, and I said she should not do it. I said it was the worst place for her to go. The worst place for her to go. And there were a number of reasons for that, and I'll show you in a second. But when you look at her points per game, 14.6 divided by 22.7, she averages 0.64 3 points per minute of play. Last year, at 11.7 divided by 18.9 minutes, she averaged 0.619 points per minute. Very, very similar, to be quite honest. I mean, not a major difference. And as a freshman, she averaged 0.635 points per minute. So her numbers from freshman year to junior year are virtually identical. In fact, if you go a little bit deeper, she averages 0.157 rebounds as a freshman per minute, and as a sophomore, 0.14, 8 rebounds per minute, and as a junior, 0.158. I mean, again, virtually the same. The only area that she had an improvement on realistically was her overall field goal shooting at 47.4%. Her 3-point shooting was 32.6, but the year last year was 25.8. Her freshman year was 34.3. So wash. Her free throw shooting 78.1%, literally the same as it was last year, 77.5, the year before 78.2. She's the same player. She went to Kim Mulkey and they did nothing different. They took her off the bench. They used her as a spark plug. And realistically, her game is the same. Now, a year ago, I said the following, and I'll play it for you. When it came down to her decision to go to when she was in the portal, and she had denied that she visited LSU. So take a look. The title of the video is you see transfer portal guard MiLaysia Fulwiley denies LSU visit. Okay. This was 11 months ago. And I will play this for you and you can hear what I had to say about it. MiLaysia Fulwiley, my dear, if I can give you one piece of advice, just one piece of advice. Do not go to LSU. That's my piece of advice to you. She's going to do what she wants to do. But do not go to LSU. And I'm going to tell you why. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball. Talk facts over feelings here. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Showmont. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell if you haven't done so already. We are getting closer to 10,000 subscribers. You have busted through 8,600. I thank you so much for that continued support. Like and leave a comment. Those comments are huge to our success and our continued growth. It keeps us in the algorithm, keeps us pushing forward. Let me tell you something. And this isn't personal to LSU. I'm a humongous Flau'jae Johnson fan by now, if you hadn't noticed. I mean, I rave about that young woman. And that's exactly why MiLaysia Fulwiley should not go to LSU. She is now, the rumor is that she is looking at LSU heavy. And I'm sitting here like, that might be the worst of the decisions for her to possibly make is to go to LSU. It doesn't make sense. It's the one school. And I don't think Ole Miss makes sense either, if you want to be completely honest. I think both of them are probably the worst of the decisions. There are better options out there for her. There are better options out there for her if she wants the ball in her hand, if she wants to play 30 minutes a game. There are better options out there. Notre Dame is a better option. Duke is a better option. Better options. LSU is a guard-heavy team. They're still trying to bring in Sarah Williams, who's visiting UConn next week. There is a fight. I got a message today from someone I know at UConn. They love Sarah Williams. Love her. They're going after her. So LSU and UConn are going to be fighting over Sarah Williams. Who is dropping the bigger duffel bag? We don't know. We shall see. Will the duffel bag be an LV or will it be a Gucci? Or maybe it will be some other brand, a Goyard. I don't know. But could it be an LV? Phil, you don't need duffel bags anymore, but you get my drift. This is how it was done back in the day. They dropped off a duffel bag. They dropped the duffel bag off at the front door. Cash. Cash money. Now you sign an NIL deal. But let's talk about this because
MiLaysia Fulwiley needs to have the ball. MiLaysia Fulwiley needs to be able to play. She goes to LSU. That is a guard-heavy squad. They have loads of guards. She plays the same position that Flau'jae Johnson plays. You're not going to put her ahead of Flau'jae Johnson. Michaela Williams. They just recruited 4 of the top 30 guards in the country in this year's recruiting class. It is the worst option for her. Again, this isn't about LSU. I got no beef with LSU. This would be and not to mention the opinion that people already have where LSU is like the stepchild, like the loser to South Carolina type of thing. Like they get your hand-me-downs, your leftovers. That's what South Carolina people think of LSU. I think we all know that by now. This does not make sense. It does.
I'll leave it at that. It does not make sense, as I said. And then a couple days later, literally a couple days later, we got MiLaysia Fulwiley. Couple days. I mean, this was literally a couple days later. Let me find it right here. Okie dokie. Let me bring it up.
We got a major announcement that just dropped in the last 30 minutes. MiLaysia Fulwiley is going to LSU. I know I dropped my video the other day and I said, don't do it. I stand on that. I still believe that this is a mistake, but congratulations to MiLaysia Fulwiley. She's made her decision. She's going to LSU, and the South Carolina fans are now going to absolutely despise her.
All right. So as you heard me say right there, a couple days later, she's at LSU. She makes the commitment. She decides to transfer to LSU after denying even visiting LSU. So she spends the year at LSU, and she is the same damn player she was at South Carolina. In fact, everything that I said about what could happen actually happened. She played less minutes than Flau'jae Johnson. She played less minutes than Michaela Williams. She was taken off of the bench. She did not start. She did not have the ball in her hands. The point guard was Jada Rashard. And LSU did, they did have the opportunity and, of course, to utilize her differently, and they chose not to. They chose not to. This is a team that, quite frankly, if you look at all the numbers, you got Zakiya Johnson, who's a guard, averaged almost 19 minutes as a freshman, scored almost 10 points. Jada Rashard averaged 26 minutes, averaged 9.5. So she was actually fourth in minutes played. And when you have a team that's filled with guards and filled with one position, you get what you get, and that's a mosh pit of players playing similar minutes, no one being the focal point, and a team that is revolving around guard play with no bigs. So you have a bunch of guards playing. MiLaysia Fulwiley to transfer to LSU should have been playing 30 minutes a game. 30 minutes a game. Otherwise, why transfer? She should be starting, not coming off the bench. Otherwise, why transfer? How did she get better this year? Oh, yeah. South Carolina busted their ass twice. South Carolina is still playing. Still playing. LSU's at home. And I'm not sitting here saying that if she went somewhere else that she'd still be playing. But I can guarantee you this, had she picked a couple of different schools that could have utilized her game, they might be playing. or she would have had a much better season, had true growth, and you'd have seen a much better player. So as I mentioned in that video from last year, Duke would have been a better option. Notre Dame would have been a better option. I mean, think about Notre Dame right now. Notre Dame, they literally ran with one player. Can you imagine if they could have put MiLaysia Fulwiley next to Hannah Hidalgo? I mean, that backcourt probably would have been a better backcourt than Hannah Hidalgo and Olivia Miles. Like the defensive prowess of those two players would have been utterly petrifying. And I'm going to be real, even with the lack of talent on the rest of the team, those two players alone would have given UConn every bit that they could handle. Heck, they wouldn't have been a 6 seed. They probably would have ended up being a 2 or a 3 seed because they'd have been a much better team. But she would have fit at Notre Dame very, very well. She would have started at Notre Dame. I mean, look at that team. Look at that team. We're talking about hoops here, man. We're talking about basketball, right? She would have been, she'd have been, I'm serious. She would have been serious there. Like, I ain't playing. It would have been nerve-wracking for people to face up against Hannah Hidalgo and MiLaysia Fulwiley at the same damn time on the court. Oh my God. The activity defensively, the speed, the athleticism. But yet she went to LSU where she had to divide time with a whole bunch of people. Look how many minutes Hidalgo played. Look how many minutes Vanessa De Jesus played. Vanessa De Jesus. Are we for real? Vanessa De Jesus played 34 minutes a game. Ayana Moore played 32 minutes a game. MiLaysia Fulwiley could have averaged 20 or more. You would have had a backcourt that was just disgusting. And instead, she went to LSU and came off the bench. And in the biggest moment of the season, her coach stuffed her back on the bench. Would Kim Mulkey ever have that type of loyalty to MiLaysia Fulwiley? I would tell you the answer is no, because she's only a transfer. She's not a 4-year player there. She'll be a 2-year player there. Will her role change a great deal from last year to this year? Marginally, maybe. Michaela Williams is still there, so that will still be Kim Mulkey's favorite. Jada Richard is still going to be there. She's still the point guard. And I'm sure LSU is going to fill their team up with more guards because Mulkey can't recruit bigs, apparently. But I would tell you this right now. MiLaysia Fulwiley should highly consider leaving. And I'll tell you where she should go. I still think Notre Dame would be a really good option. I think Texas would be a heck of an option. They're going to lose Rory Harmon. They're going to need a dynamic point guard, athletic. She would fit. But LSU ain't the place. And I can't imagine that she's not sitting here regretting the decision that she made. Because I always thought she should leave South Carolina. I just didn't think that was the place she should go. I thought Ole Miss made no sense. I thought LSU made no sense. I thought staying in the SEC overall made no sense. If you notice, my video last year was Notre Dame and Duke. Notre Dame and Duke. I think staying in the SEC, mistake. Because you're going to be compared to South Carolina. And more than likely, South Carolina is going to be better than whatever team you go to. Because they are one of the elite programs in the country, and their culture is their culture. And most teams don't have the talent that they got over at South Carolina. But if you're to ask me right now again, where do I think she should consider? I definitely think she should consider Notre Dame. And I think Texas would be an option because there'd be a need. And then on top of that, let me see. And Duke would still be an option. Although it would be a little bit, that would be a little nerve-wracking because they're losing a bunch of players. However, I mean, it would still be an option for her. You got to be real. I mean, it's an option. But I'd look at Notre Dame and I'd be looking at Texas. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. LSU fans, what do you think? What do y'all think? I know you don't want her to go. Most, I would presume not. But did she get better this year? No. She's the same damn player. Same damn player. And she got done to her by Kim Mulkey exactly what got done to her by Dawn Staley. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. This is Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball. Part by Come On Another Podcast. Come on now.